This is the Kitchen Sink WP Podcast, episode 564.
I program my home computer.
We have a server crash. 404 error. Page not found. Links aren't working. System is crashing. System is crashing. System is crashing.
Your old HTML website. Barely alive. We have the technology. We have WordPress. A new website. Better than it was before. Better. Stronger. Faster.
Technology.
Why, hello everybody, this is Adam Philby, host of the Kitchen Sink WP podcast. Thanks for being here. Let's get started. All right, upcoming events. Oh, so sad. There are no more camps this year. Thought there was one more for some reason, but there are not. So no more WordCamps. So there's that. All right, moving on, segment one in the news. A couple of things to talk about here, and all three of them are regarding acquisitions. So first and foremost, Automattic acquired WPAI. And I imagine that is to help them with their mission of getting more artificial intelligence and content creation easier to implement internally at Automattic and or in the WordPress site. I don't know exactly, but we'll take a look at that when it comes out. ClikIT acquired UglyRobot's infinite uploads and big files uploads plugin. So there's that. And lastly, WPExperts was formerly WPExperts. They changed names. They acquired Advanced File Manager from the plugin company Modal Web. So yeah, there you go. Okay, there are a lot of acquisitions. Congratulations to all those involved. Hope it's worked out. I'm sure it has. Otherwise, they wouldn't have done it. Okay. All right, moving on. Segment two, the meat and potatoes of this week's episode. So it's the end of the year. We're getting there. Very close to the new year. 2025 is around the corner. We all get busy, but I think this is the best possible time of year right now to take a moment to check on our sites or our client sites and do a security audit. Now, why do I say now? Because it's a matter of if, not when, your site or your client site will be targeted. And keep in mind, it's not personal. It's just the luck of the draw, right? I mean, just a few weeks back, my personal Instagram account actually somehow got hacked, or something happened where I got logged out, and luckily I had a second email address where my phone number was attached, obviously, for my Run Adam Run account. And it's that feeling like, oh my gosh, why me? It's not me. It wasn't personal. Someone got in, I got the notification, it looked spammy, I double checked, it was true, I got it back within 10 minutes. But all that said, it's not a matter of if, it's when you'll get hacked, something will happen, etc. So in case you need to know why do the security audit, here are 5 reasons just to kind of settle your mind down, maybe share this with your clients. Number 1, protect against emerging threats. Hackers target outdated software. Number 2, ensure data integrity. Secure the customer or user data. I mean, honestly, we all want that. We want to make sure that our information, if you are on someone's e-commerce site, if you're on a membership site, you want to make sure that my data is safe and secure. You want to offer that to your customers and clients as well. Number 3, boost user trust because a secure site fosters confidence in your brand. Number 4, you want to avoid downtime. Prevention is much cheaper than fixing a hacked site. That is by far one of the biggest takeaways of this week's episode. It really is true. Okay. And number 5, meet compliant standards. It's super important if you handle sensitive data, anything to do GDPR, PCI, DSS, all those things, you got to make sure that you are compliant with the standards at hand that you are involved in. Now, as far as methods for security audit, not too tough. And I've come up with 10 ways that I would suggest, some of which you may already have in place. I know I already do have a lot of these in place, but they could always be, reevaluated, relooked at, considered again. So in no specific order, number 1, update everything consistently. Keep WordPress core, plugins, and themes updated to avoid known vulnerabilities. Number 2, scan for malware. Use plugins and services like Securi, WordFence, Malcare to scan the site for malicious files. Perhaps your hosting actually may offer this as well. If you're not sure, check. Just ask them, hey, do you do this? And it might be one of their unknown things that they do for you. Mine does, so that's kind of cool. Number 3, review user permissions. This is a big one too. You want to audit the admin accounts and remove unnecessary ones. I do this often, probably, at least twice a year with my own sites and my client sites. And also I make sure that they all have strong passwords. I force that because it's too easy otherwise. If you're using, hello 1234 exclamation point, that's one thing if you're doing that locally on a dev site, but once it's in production, that's got to change. So strong passwords are a must. Number 4, check file permissions. This is a big one too. You want to lock down sensitive files like wp-config. In doing that, you want to set the permissions. This is on the server side of things, 644 for files, 755 for folders. If you're not sure what that means, Google it or ask your admin, but it's not that hard to do. So, and it's a big thing. Sometimes folders, directories, and settings and permissions kind of get mucked up. It's weird. Sometimes for the benefit, sometimes not the benefit. Recently, my developer actually tried to upload a plugin that wasn't working, and it didn't work for me either. We're not sure why. Actually, it's on the dev server, so now I do know why, as I said it out loud. But I went ahead and just FTP'd it up, so it was not a huge problem. But we couldn't do it through the dashboard. So anyway, number 5, you want to enable a web application firewall if you can, so you can protect your sites from brute force and SQL injection attacks. Again, plugins like Securi, Cloudflare are good options here. Okay. Number 6, and I do this one not as often as I should for a handful of sites, but I'm going to start doing this more regularly. But I want to monitor the logs. You need to regularly review the server logs or implement them as well. The WordPress activity logs. You can use plugins like WP Activity Log and just see what's going on in any unusual activity concept. Number 7, set up regular backups. If you're not doing this, then you are really putting yourself behind the 8 ball. So I recommend this. You want to ensure that your backups are automated, stored offsite. You can use tools like Updraft Plus, Backup Buddy, Blog Vault is my go-to right now. I love Blog Vault, I really do. And Blog Vault does the malware for me, and it's offsite, and I get emails when there's any threats. Pretty cool. I 100% use Blog Vault. Okay. Number 8, you want to replace weak security keys. You can go ahead and replace your salts in the WP-config PHP file. That way they will invalidate existing sessions, and someone happen to piggyback in and log in on some capacity that they shouldn't have, you can replace the salts, and there's plugins and services that will help you do that as well. Number 9, add 2FA. Not hard to do. Use plugins like Google Authenticator or Authy for the added login security. Yes, it's a pain in the butt. I get that, but it helps. I mean, it helped me with my Instagram account. Without that 2FA, that would have been a problem. And number 10, test the recovery plan. You want to ensure that you can quickly restore the site from a backup in case of breach. Now, how do you do this? Well, take your backup and have a dev server somewhere, have, even the, not a dev server necessarily, but a staging server inside your hosting, and put it there. See if it works for you. Make sure it does work and you know how to do it. Because if you have the file, that's great. Knowing it's good, clean, and usable is another question. So there you go. 5 reasons why you want to have the security audit and 10 methods for doing it. Repeating those real quick. Number 1, update everything. Number 2, scan for malware. Number 3, review user permissions. Number 4, check file permissions. Number 5, use a web application firewall, WAF. Number 6, monitor the logs. 7, set up regular backups. 8, replace weak security keys, i.e. the salts. 9, add 2FA. And 10, and lastly, test the recovery plan. So there you go. Those are my suggestions this week for towards the end of the year here to do this. And not just the end of the year. You could do this, every quarter if you really wanted to, but at least once a year, end of the year would be great. Okay, moving on. Segment 3, tip and tool of the week. This week, it's a plugin. It's called Plugin Detective. It's by, I believe it's N Squared, excuse me. It's a cool plugin. It lets you troubleshoot plugin conflicts. So check it out. It's free. It's actually made by friends of mine who I do know by chance, Natalie and Nathan. But check it out. It's over on the repository. Put a link in the show notes. It's fun stuff there. They have a cool little icon called Auto. But check it out, Plugin Detective. All right, I'm going to wrap it up here. If you have any questions, go ahead, send it in via email, adam@KitchensinkWP.com, or use that SpeakPipe function on the website. If you want to support the show, you can do that. There's a way to become a Patreon. There's a way to buy me a coffee. Also on the website, you can also become a sponsor. There's a form you need to fill out. Do that. I'll get back to you. And that's it. All right, thanks for listening. See you next week. Now go out and do some awesome things with WordPress. All right, bye-bye.